down. Okay, sit down. Sit down, puppies. Angel, Zelda, do you want the blanket? Come here. Do you want blanket too? Okay, have to go to... I have a... Didn't it pop up on Twitter? Oh, I'm in the same account. I need to switch accounts again. That's why I don't see it. And I'm online. And I'm online.
Saul's Castro. And now he's gone on assignment, and no one knows where.
Now Itaman's been snatched away? How much must we endure?
Who knows what sort of tortures our Sun King will endure in Meridian.
Never thought I'd feel this bad on such a bright day. These angrier machines we keep hearing about are Avad's doing. Won't abide apostasy.
Okay, let me see here.
Our child Sun King whisked off to Meridian. I'll bet he's eating well now. Now Itaman's been snatched away? How much must we endure?
First we...
I go... Okay.
And now we've lost Itaman? Is there no one left to put our faith in?
Rest at that campfire first.
What are the Kaja without a Sun King? Can we even call ourselves Kaja?
Alright.
We can't even keep our Sun King safe.
I have to start the quest to the end. Now, where is it at exactly? Which way do I go from? Okay, not there. Is it down here? This way? Wait, that's where I already was. So, is it...
Behave yourself, girl.
Stay sharp.
Through here, apparently.
But it's hard not to feel a little jealous. He's home.
Here we go. Alright. And I'm gonna wear yeah, it is right here. Fire. Enter. Here we go. Oh, he's not gonna warn me a second time.
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure. As year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Hold for identiscan. Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. 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 Malfunction.
You kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobek here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Emergency venting authorized.
I underestimated you. Think by now
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Yes. Which I will. $11 health potions, I guess. Okay. I'll be picking
Welcome
up.
to Project Zero Dawn.
Yes.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
Okay, peoples, get online. We need support too. Reception staff continues to require additional. Highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. The language bots are not sufficient. Mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Okay. Another incident. Morning's unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as the staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we have already requested, we need human translators fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists, people that work with unborn babies, for example, and dermal sedatives to calm those who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and faces at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates were reasonably calm and well behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond. Embryologists. Yes, they are making babies. Entertainment hat, yes. Okay, just going through here now. And there's a plant, but I don't need it. Let's get some people online.
Please take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
Soundproofing? Oh, this starts getting funny. Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought. Okay, that's not the one I thought it was. Yeah, people are screaming and crying about, because you have to come here with no knowledge. They just had to agree to do this for the world. Oh. Basically didn't tell them how much they even know before they get dragged into this. Alright. Okay, what is it? There's a data in the other room, then. Wait. Oh, there we go. Restock or else. For the 5th time, please restock the lounge's selection of herbal teas. I have to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of organic cucumber mint or blackberry sage. I am going to lose it. Please respond. No tempest in a teapot or steep demand jokes, okay? Okay. And this way.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
ZD-01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Oh, they got
Welcome to
me.
Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret superweapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a superweapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating. Waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day. The day that life on Earth ceases to exist is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
That doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
You guys watch the recordings. This is important stuff. At least to me, the story, lore, everything.
Kestrels. They got in. Through the vents.
Oh no.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
There's
What
a
is this place?
shield right here.
Tomb?
Okay. Right there was a shield.
Might not make it. There. Looks like she wants to fight. That hurt. Took a shot. Felt that one.
Get away from me. There. Too many potions. Okay, potion.
We're too close to let tribal primitives stop us now. The data points, what do they contain?
Yes, I need to get there. Alright.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, U.S. Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said, not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
Yeah. Counselor guidelines. Okay, now we get candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. What do they consider amount of time? It's important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma, severe. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicate acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the feral plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data. Yes. Data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm. Yeah. It says essential to stress that all other options for combating the feral plague and continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic. Okay. It is important to be aware that candidates have exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. If candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow them without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so the candidates can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. The real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crisis teams are here. Yeah, well, it's part 1 of starting the end. It's a long ways to the end. Okay, where's the rest?
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since '57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
Yeah. A colony ship? Well, it could save some people, but not everybody. Oh. Okay. Well, okay, I'm on the side of a... Can I, like, go through here? No, I'm not going through that door. I have to get to these points of... else. I can't... There's other... No, that's where I came in, isn't it? Okay, yeah. Need one of those. Alright, here we go.
It is accurate, yes.
So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people. They feed off them?
Not just people. All organic matter.
Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel.
In a word, yes.
Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here?
No, Doctor.
Please, tell him Tom Pake wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Doctor, please! You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
Yeah, let's speed up Ted Pharaoh.
Want to discuss? Whew. So Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bubble serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, it was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke? A tobacco cigarette. Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malkeet was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate,
What?
I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
Blood coffee? What does that mean?
You previously worked for Pharaoh Automated Systems.
On the Chariot Line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since...
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
No limits. Yeah, that's pretty much the case. Their robots have no limits, and their destruction is unlimited. Okay. Where's the... Yeah. I'm missing one. Huh? What's that? Or do I have to get through this door?
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Elizabeth Sobek.
She defaults closed.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
The whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes. By a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how did it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the Archive of Knowledge, what happened to that?
I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
There's a thing stuck in the ceiling. Okay, well I can read that. I can't get the... I have to get upstairs to get the... There's a loot up there. Yeah, so yeah, the Mother Gaia is supposed to be, you know, like good and do the good stuff. And Hades was part of Gaia. And supposedly the subordinates were not true AIs, but Hades is now the ultimate enemy. So yeah, that all didn't work out right. Wait, was I supposed to play that? What happened? Okay, I didn't play it. Yeah, they had a total of 16 months by the time they figured this out and got the people here. They had 16 months to build something to save the world. I need to get upstairs somewhere. Like here. And yeah, they had some space colony stuff. And they laughed at the timeline. Well, ultimately, the game writers decided that's what they wanted to do with it. So, their choice of story, whatever. Yep. That's why they couldn't ultimately save life. A bunch more data. Make your selection. Oh, here's the... You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn. Classified far above top secret. As such, we regret you cannot be allowed to leave. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider carefully. 1. Participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and project's outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week, and your communication with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, for 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. See this sealed habitat or the spaceship or anything. It's going to take longer than their natural lives, so everybody's going to die on these colonies they put them in anyway. Should you choose to decline, you will be confined. You will be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible. But you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and within 18 months due to the feral plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released. Oh, they're just going to release them to die anyway. Or the medical euthanasia. You can decide to kill yourself after a 48-hour waiting period. Okay. Right. Yeah. Counselor guidelines. Without value judgment on the part of the counselor, confirm for candidates that they were selected to do their skill sets and accomplishments. Emphasize that their dedicated participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chances of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of an overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection. Validate such objections as normal, even admirable responses. Emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future, not just of humanity, but terrestrial life as a whole. Likewise, candidates may balk at the morality of extending their lifespans and those of loved ones beyond 0 day, and validate their hesitation. Acknowledge that while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned. If possible, redirect their ethical misgivings toward greater commitment to the project. When candidates challenge the plausibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to review Dr. Sobek's presentation as many times as they wish, and allow supplemental articles. Allow them to just suspend the interview to fully process this documentation. A significant minority of candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. It is important to receive this decision kindly and without judgment. Advise them of the 48-hour waiting period during which counselors will be available to discuss their decision. No one will be euthanized against his or her will. Candidates who elect indefinite detention must be informed that they have 48 hours to reverse their decision.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that Well, I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. Isn't it just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom? I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard, to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timo. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You'd grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry?
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
Yeah.
Is he to make sure I behave this time?
Security. For your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my old man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. He's kind of blue skying. It's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What are you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
And...
Alert. Medical wing inaccessible.
Okay, did I get all the talks? Where am I going? Oh, that's number 2 of the special... I wonder if I get a power cell in here. I don't remember where I get the power cell. Where is my place to go? No data points. I gotta look this up because if I miss a power cell, I can't come back to this place. Gotta make sure I don't. Okay. Power cell locations. Okay. Hagerson, Grave Horde. Power Cell 5, Gaia Prime. That's not where I am. The mountain that fell. Okay.
Intruder! Get her!
Whatever you do, don't die now.
Like all have guns or what?
Luck's with me.
No. No. It doesn't have an actual assault rifle, pistol. Yeah. Can't pick up all these health potions now. I am full.
Can't be too prepared.
Where is...
Zero Dawn. It is odd, in a way. an expression on the grandest scale, but there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair. Not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural it'd be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
I hashed it out with them, what the point of Artemis was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years. So the idea of a reconstituted biosphere, well, it's horrifying, isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to take a best guess at this stuff. But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this, and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to him. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you. Counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want no part of this pathetic, attenuated future on offer. I'm an outdoors man. Never did like the feel of solid-state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe, anyway.
So he wants to do the work, but then just walk out into the destruction and die, huh? Okay. turn some power back on somewhere. Power cables, okay.
Here we go. Another one of these. Need to find the right configuration.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
So we go down right.
There's a part missing. Maybe
Oh.
there's a storage area nearby.
Oh. That's nice. I do find a power cell here, but it's not one I can see. Power cell was in my mind for some reason. This one isn't backwards, right? I said. Both of them are backwards. Oh, how did it already get down? Wait, did I miss? Get back up. The last one is...
Done. I should check the door nearby.
Yeah, I have to do the other side. Where do I find this missing one? Go. See, I started ducking down to crawl through a different place and...
Found one. Looks intact. That should do the trick. Now let's get that door open.
went into space, but they probably won't do that. No, they kind of think they still have to build the Earth, I would think. I don't know. So up equals down. That equals right. Okay, this one equals down or up. This one goes up. Down, that way, up, that way, down. Okay, what? Or it goes reverse the other way. No. Okay, now I know. Oh, my eye. Making me read upside down backwards stuff. Okay. First one is down. And then up. Because from the state of the world, you know, these people that are in the world, they wouldn't be able to get space exploration. So the old people are gone.
That did it.
Oh.
We should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Now to get attacked again. Get all the data stuff. Uh-oh.
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
Holy crap. use health potions so I can replace them. Too many of you.
About to get loud.
You cannot hide.
Area inaccessible. Elevators non-operational. Stairwells have collapsed.
The sun can't save you now.
Just a minute.
The shadow will reach you wherever you go. Shadow take you. Look out. Take cover.
Can I hit you?
That's the last of them.
Alert. HVAC structural failure.
Or not.
Get out of the way!
Where?
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
Must find all my loot.
Hello, I'm Margaret.
Alert. Structural failure prevents access.
Is that all my loot? Okay. If I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. Hephaestus. Yeah, that's the name. Hephaestus. That's the forge. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for construction and stocking bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail. Counsel with before you finalize the silo. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes, so any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan.
I've seen these shapes before, in cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
Yeah, Hephaestus is the forge person in Greek. Wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's prediction for animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate. But I agree there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional, they feel almost like, well, tributes is the word. As though she's already mourning their loss. And not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Wait, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Okay, for the fossil record, that's where the dinosaurs comes from. But, like, obviously there's no big, like, actual T-Rex or anything in here. Maybe there will be in-game, too. Bigger, harder to kill monsters. Was there something in the middle here, or was it... Zeroer? Okay, where was that other thing? I thought there was a big... You must view this one. Or I did. No, see. Hollow projector I need to view.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So like, you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software.
Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical in places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, Hephaestus has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, the Thunderjaw. How could it do that? And why?
Why indeed?
Hades got a hold of them. Okay.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
More Eclipse.
Careful now.
How is he actually helping? He doesn't know anything. Well... he knows. More than he admits. Wait, I'm going away from? Where do I have to go to unlock it? It says I was going away. What? Is he really a Griddleback? What? I'm confused here about where I'm going. Guess the distance starts saying. But do I have to go around here to get to? Where do I have to go? Well, not down, right? Because that's where they are. Do I have to activate that? Or is that one I've already been to? I don't think I'm supposed to go... Yeah, I am supposed to go down. Well, okay. Encapsulized DNA. For the past 10 days, I've performed an exhaustive review of data storage solutions. Magnetic, optical, quantum, even the Eternity tech that was a year or so ago, but every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings. Too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, too prone to failure past 300, 400 years. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 zettabytes we're projecting for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert materials in which we will embed the molecules. No, testing 16 candidate materials as well as design. fabricate the power systems and sealed reliquaries that will keep DNA at negative 18 degrees Celsius for 1,000+ years. So long as I assure you that I didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting indeed that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic, but heroic, life as the hero, beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much to do until next time. Yeah, see, they had to put all the DNA in some kind of capsule for that would hold it for 1,000 years. Like I was,
Welcome to Apollo,
even the flowers
the
were
collective memory
DNAs.
of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world, ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries, 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
Okay, yeah, the humans were supposed to learn this knowledge of computers and how to continue the terraforming, and what she was just saying. The terraforming was to continue with the humans, but problems. Apollo update is a full benefit of our a copy of the Homer archive from Far Zenith has made itself known. As a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical silence modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, media archives. Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 45 thundered languages. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the onset, with attended curricula development about to begin. Speaking of the heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aspasia persona. Personally, I find them highly engaging. I wish half my professors had been so entertaining. Peace be with you. where am I gonna unlock the door? I have to go through the enemies again. Oh, come on.
I'm tired of hunting shadows. Give us a rule.
I'm not even gonna get. Can't tell if you're you're inside. Oh, I was. Oh, I still did the silent strike. Alrighty then.
Here we go.
Die. We're down, but we're not out.
Oh, come on. I can't see.
Stay in cover.
I cannot see.
Shadow, guide me! Fall before the shadow!
That's the last of them. Alone once more.
In what should have been a cave of wonders. Look around. See if anything is left.
Stay in cover in the middle of the room. The other people in here. What? I did not mean to hit it. I just meant to drop it. So
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by day, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world, listening to this message, please know that I am sorry. And that I wish you well. Sincerely. Aaron Harris.
I don't use those, really. Where I'm going, around the LVs. There's stuff in here, or all I can see is all those leftover guns laying around.
Welcome to Hades. Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol. The ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia, 200 years from now, and this new biosphere you're growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos, spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
Noise complaints, that's because Hades, the guy building Hades, was making too much noise. He's a little, doesn't seem mature enough to really be doing it. Tate here just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. I guess that's drugs. Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority. If there ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard, and it degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers out of the figurative driving and wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too, so that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business. So I had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control, and simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system and reverse operation, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing the process, falsifying telemetry to hide its interference sneakily. I swear, ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are strong. Guess it's time to sleep, and I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, or at least sleeping pills he took, I guess. I don't know if it was other drugs. Anyway, yeah. The guy doesn't seem mature to be handling this. Archive abuse. Mr. Tate. This mail concerns Apollo Archive System. Really, your 666 submission in just 5 days, and oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings, reappropriation materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. What? I can't even read. Allow me then to thank you on 2 counts for giving me the pleasure to reject your submissions, thereby consigning your favorite Easterpian torture fucks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved future humanity from the ordeal of experience, not just one but all 16 installments making a millipede. Don't worry, the material has already been preserved, extreme perhaps, but art for clarifying a concept that has so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself. The definition of I don't even know. You have freed me from the suggestive quagmire embedded in Judge Potter's famous utterance, I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now supply a single objective. If Travis Tate has submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions, sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time you would have spent preparing further submissions on, I don't know, your assigned work. We have a world to save, after all. Do the rest of us do anyway? Okay, so all that letter said is Travis Tate, aka Hades, was submitting porn to the Learning Archive, and that he should get back to his own job. Great. Ugh. Okay, I can't even read half this stuff. Is that where I'm supposed to be going now? Is there anything else? I'm supposed to go through a cave now? This...
Welcome to Hades. Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol. Ultimate killer app. Now,
Looks like the only way onwards.
Alright.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Raleigh Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
Okay. And spent 36 hours. I don't know what you had to give for Far Zenith in trade of these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risk of ECMO resolved. Nutrition delivery resolved. Nutrition stability, hormonal stability resolved. 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But the rest of HZ's technology is at this level. Well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident that they may be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours, then back to it. Accept a fabrication plan within 48 hours. They got their embryonic cradles. Right. No, that was the embryo cradles.
What I think they are?
Artificial wombs.
Artificial
Machines to spawn
wombs.
a new generation of human beings.
Development of the artificial persona for cradle servitors. Nurturer, disciplinarian, healer continues at a good pace. We are targeting tuning 04 for these constructs. It should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of persona, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning our entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and healer personas. I've also attached the reports for an incident where a servitor running the mother persona intervened on disciplinarian servitor's behavior. A parental argument, if you will, amusing at first glance perhaps, but deeply concerning. I've attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings. And they actually had to make artificial people programs to raise the new babies. That's what their servitors or robot people. Cradle sealed. And Eleuthia was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Yin-Yang province could detect it. Ping back from crucial systems is good. For our maiden voyage, a success. Regarding my disputes with the betas over zygote selection, of course, I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is margin for refinement in future cradle populations. So in addition to personally overseeing completions of Eleuthia 2 site insists, I will formulate modified zygote selection plan within the week. But no, they don't have any starships. They have an orbital base. Is one of the things they have. Some people are going to live in an orbital base, and some people are going to live sealed underground. Of the people that, but they're not going to live forever because the cleanup of the world is going to take too long, so they're really not going to survive. They're just going to die in there. What serious? Is that the same one?
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not...
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted Alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
Yep, so Aloy was birthed in there. Come on. Alright. So now I'm almost done, right? Sure.
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistakes, I think you mean?
All I'm saying is give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound. At this point, the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
Yeah. Sup, guy is already smarter than all of you.
Looks like it used to hold something.
Nuts would benefit from antilopinae morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet,
I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good. You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all things.
Alright. Was that what was that? I know it said something. Something I needed? Oh, pry open door. Wait, okay. So, wait. Oh, yeah, that is my destination, to pry open door. And grab everything I can. Artemis status, it's coming along. I'm positive these words can still mean anything. Had my sleeves rolled up, negotiating frozen zoos for their samples. So many species trapped in ghoulish hologram, suspended in what ifs. More than 14,000 that went extinct between 2000 and 2043. We started mapping out primary succession, selecting pioneer organisms for a balanced and sustainable biosphere. Microorganisms and insects, rabbits and hawks, foxes and wolves. Thousands more that will have to wait their turn until our new generation can be entrusted with the duty of restoring them. That's why there's only smaller animals, or aren't they, than wolves, which it said there, but they got the rabbits and nothing bigger. We can return to a world that this time will understand the concept of conservation before it's too late. There's already been too many lates. We lost a whole collection team during the swarm breakthrough, and the samples were lost. Well, irreplaceable. But thanks to you, Liz, the cradle of life will bend, not break. The Earth was a lifeless rock before, and someday it will be again. But not now, not like this, not on our watch. Okay. And Odyssey has failed. What is that? Some terrible news for Zara Zenith has informed me that the Odyssey mission has failed. Last night, telemetry indicated a catastrophic antimatter containment failure as the drive spun up to depart the solar system. The ship, its crew, the cargo, the zygotes and seeds, its alpha build of Apollo were all lost. Zero Dawn is now the only hope for continuation of the human species and earthly life. We must succeed, Elizabeth. So they lost most of Apollo, the learning system. So now we know why people don't have this knowledge. And here we go. Yes, wait, what? What do I point at? Wait, I have to, okay.
The Alpha Registry master file.
Intact?
Yeah, no signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother. Open it. Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth to me.
Who? Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine. But what kind of machine and why? Why were you created?
Eclipse.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
Not done yet.
Still alive. Good. I have a more suitable death in mind for you, child.
And I got captured.
My entire life, I've always known one thing with prophetic certainty. That I was destined for glory as a great champion of the sun. Even when Jiran was murdered, even when Meridian fell, I never doubted my destiny. Until you came along. When I heard that you had survived, a doubt took root in my mind. As sure as the sun rises and falls each day, those I am bade to kill die. And yet I failed. How? Why? With each dig site you attacked, each loyal soldier you killed, this pestering doubt grew. It grew when High Priest Bahavas went missing. And when the true Sun King Itamen was snatched away. It not only grew, but multiplied. I kept thinking of the moment my knife pierced your throat. One twist, a simple tug of the blade, and you would have bled out. In slaughter, I am a practiced hand. So why hesitate? Why fail my destined purpose?
See that scar on your cheek? You didn't get to finish.
Yes, I remember. He fought well. For a savage.
His name was Rost, and he was a better man than you could ever hope to be.
The better man is the one who doesn't end up with his guts steaming on the ground. No, it wasn't him. I could have finished you before he attacked. But I didn't. This failing troubled my thoughts, haunted every step. It was only when I captured you, down in that place, that I finally glimpsed the sun's design etched at length across the course of events. You were meant to survive that day on the mountain. Meant to interfere at dig sites and kill my men. Meant to eliminate High Priest Bahavas. Meant to snatch Itamen away. Conversely, I was meant to capture you. Here. So that you might die as a sacrificial offering to the sun. Everything as it was meant to be. Predestined and preordained.
You're an idiot. A dangerous idiot. But an idiot. All this talk of destiny and fate. I'm sure Hades speaks the same language, doesn't he? You're being played for a fool. Hades is an ancient machine, not the buried shadow of Carja myth. It doesn't care about Meridian. It wants to kill everything and everyone. And you are its dutiful slave.
I serve not the buried shadow, but the sun in shadow. All halves of nature joined to one cause. Shadow to sun, dark to light.
Do you really not hear how ridiculous that sounds? You've gone from serving an insane homicidal Sun King to an insane homicidal machine. You're moving down in the world, not up.
I'll remember those words as I watch your corpse burn. Whatever's left of it. You fail to grasp the point. As surely as you've been conquered, so has all doubt. And with certainty of belief comes unstoppable force.
Then open this cage and put your faith to the test. See if things work out like you expect.
The circle has closed. Every element is in its proper place, exactly where it belongs. The errant beast, now caged, will serve her true purpose. A sacrificial animal. Oh, speaking of sacrifice, I forgot to tell you. After you crashed the Eclipse network, I sent messengers into the east to rally the forces there and mount an invasion of the sacred land. I ordered every Nora killed. I was hoping to catch you there, but alas, it all seems to have been unnecessary.
Why butcher dozens of innocents for no gain? It's a waste of effort.
You're right. I won't even be there to enjoy it. In any case, I couldn't recall the order even if I wished to. Thanks to your destruction of the network, communication over distances is impossible. You not only doomed yourself, but an entire tribe. Do we not see the scorching judgment of the sun in these events? Your focus. Such a powerful device, isn't it? And yet, so fragile. This time, I did not hesitate. The knife has already been twisted.
Okay, I get this like 10 minutes.
Carja faithful, rejoice!
Yeah.
Our years in shadow are over. A new dawn trembles on the horizon.
Well, if he would stop talking, it would be like 10 minutes.
Break. And when it does, the false Sun King will be dead, and Holy Meridian ours once more. In this, I have become an instrument of prophecy. All halves of nature join to one cause. Shadow to sun, light to dark. Night to day.
Then he died.
Behold!
Okay, the enemies are coming. Okay, the enemies are coming to kill me. Let's go.
I'll never beat that thing without weapons. My weapons are up on the platform. There's no way out of this ring. Maybe I could use its strength against it. That pillar's weak. Another hit, and that pillar will come down.
Now you're just a big dumb target. Come and get it!
Yeah, good thing I know what I was doing. Get on the other side and get trapped. Okay. No, you were supposed to get... run over this thing over here. Hello.
blister on its belly. Looks important.
I switched. I tried to.
Those components on the sides of his head. They've got something to do with his lift attacks.
Tear blast arrows. They don't actually explode. They don't actually do damage. Well, they do, but they'd have to damage by tear. They don't damage on their own. You're dead, you're dead. Do I get to loot it? I don't know.
Silence! Shadows, kill her! Kill her!
Why leave it to them? Come get me yourself!
And Silence? He knows you?
So you're here. Really here. You risked your life.
Of course I did. If you'd been killed, the Nora's sacred mountain would never have given up its secrets.
Too bad you wasted your time, then. Helis destroyed my focus. And the Alpha Registry with it.
Yeah.
The whole time I've been monitoring your focus, I've duplicated every data.
He duplicated.
Installing that data.
Yes, good night. Thank you for joining me.
Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man.
You're really good at making it impossible to like you, Silence. But I guess I need this.
It's time to see where you were born. Maybe you'll even learn why.
Yeah. Meet the machine that birthed me into this world. Isn't that how you put it?
I'll be off.
Wait.
Yes?
Since when can you override machines?
Ever since you discovered the technique. I had to destroy a corruptor to obtain the necessary parts, of course. But your example showed me how to do that as well. Yet another benefit of monitoring your activities through your focus. Truth be told, the underlying logic of the technique isn't so different from rites practiced by Banuk shamans. Though, of course, far more advanced.
Great. You're welcome, I guess. How did you track my location when I wasn't wearing a focus?
Really, Aloy? It doesn't take a genius to surmise that Helis would throw you into the sun ring at high noon. I wore out 2 striders getting here in time, but I did. Now be on your way.
Helis recognized you back in the sun ring. You told me that you'd assisted the eclipse. Not that you knew the man who killed my... who almost killed me.
So now you know. The man is a serious threat. So let's do all we can to make sure that he and Hades don't succeed.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll be on my way. To make matters worse, Helis ordered an Eclipse detachment to attack the Nora Sacred Land. The tribe's already weak. They won't stand a chance. You should come with me.
Well, absolutely not. I have preparations to make elsewhere.
What kind of... Why do I bother asking? You're not going to tell me.
When the time is right, I'll be in touch.
Elsewhere.
I'll contact you later. In the meantime, should you need to return to Shadow Carja territory, I brought armor to conceal your identity.
You think of everything, don't you?
One of us has to.
Not really, it's a weak armor.
Aloy, when you were recovering the Alpha Registry down in the Zero Dawn bunker, I was needlessly cruel. For your sake, I hope there is someone waiting there for you inside the mountain. Not a what, but a who. Yeah!
Okay. 2.5 hours overtime. Yes, alright. Time for recording to end. Goodbye, anybody that might still be watching. I will see you tomorrow, I suppose. Look, something's floating in the air. Okay. No, not take a picture. Broadcast off. Thank you and goodbye.